Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 17 of Podcast Lost in Space. We're down to three. Seneca's out with a headache. One of our other guests' computer decided to blue screen and not turn back on. So we've got Doc, and
Hoy hoy.
we're joined by Caitlin as well. So we
Hi.
have just enough to scrape this into being an actual podcast and not just me and Doc talking to you guys again. So welcome.
We can find another thing to get angry about.
I mean, we
Do
can.
that for
That
an
hasn't come
hour.
out yet, but we had a whole Star Wars podcast in which me and Doc actually got angry at each other.
Mhm.
It was fun. It was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So let's let our guest introduce herself, kind of what she does.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Johnstone. Doc has mentioned me before as the owner of Shiro Cosmetics, handcrafted makeup and geekery for all of your Benedict Cumberbatch contouring powder needs. I may also be joined by my cat. We are hoping she doesn't hang up on everybody. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem.
Well, it's the next generation keyboard cat. To be fair,
Well, yes. She does a good job. If you hear,
dances on the keyboard
if
and
you hear,
hangs up many a Skype call.
yeah. So Doc and I Skype each other all the time because I live in Oregon. So, and about half of his viewing experience is Ari's butthole.
That
That's
means
how it
it
goes.
likes the computer. But I was gonna say it likes him, but the cat probably can't connect flat pictures with people.
Yeah. I don't know. She just likes to be in front of whatever I'm looking at.
She's a cat.
Right now. Yeah. Classic.
Doc, do your introduction. What magical thing have you come up with this week?
Put me on the spot. Well, first of all, I think I've done about like 4 hours of podcasting this week. This has been a big podcasting week. I even am doing a show that I haven't even told you about, and I'm going to ask your help to upload it. And I don't know what we're going to upload it as because it's basically me and my friend Ben just talking, just because he and I will riff and make jokes and do whatever. And this week we talk about music. Next week we'll talk about movies. We have no idea what the whole theme of the show is, other than us just kind of being goofy with each other. So we'll figure that one out.
Which
But
is just about every show that we have.
yeah, that's kind of more or less everything that we do. So it fits the theme of the website, if anything. So
That's true.
yeah, I mean, that's been most of my week is just doing tons of that. And then, man, I need to do more things. I also got pretty drunk last night because we had a little party going on at my place. And it was fun. We played Cards Against Humanity again. And surprisingly, I think it's still really funny. I have like all the expansion stuffs and everything, and
We can get angry about that.
it's still funny to me.
Oh.
It can be funny in the right situation, but
Can I tell everyone my favorite ever combo that I got to play?
sure.
Yay! Okay, so you know the blank plus blank equals blank card.
Mhm.
I got to play a tiny horse plus oncoming traffic equals horse meat.
Ha! See, you do find it funny.
They are funny. A lot of the cards, a lot of people play with the biggest, blackest dick. Oh, it's a dog! And I'm like, it's not funny anymore.
I
Uh,
have one other important question.
yeah.
For this episode, can Ari be the official podcat?
Sure.
Yay!
And that's fun.
If it's a pun, she wants to make it work.
I know.
That one goes. I say that plays.
That's a good pun.
But my experience with Cards Against Humanity is it still is about the people that you play with, where a lot of people now, where it's like if they're just choosing the most absurd card, that's not really funny anymore. Where it's like choosing the absurd card that fits the actual card that you're playing on top of, that's what makes it really funny.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly how the group was playing last night, and that's what made each card so unique. It's like everyone wants to choose something that actually fits, rather than just being like, oh, this is a vulgar card that involves Pac-Man guzzling cum. Let's play that, even though in the card's like, how does my grandma like to dance?
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is, I got burned out on it a while ago. Plus, I talked about it last podcast. I ended up with a shitty set of cards because
Yeah,
I tried to
still
screw my
want
friend.
Yeah, I still want those PAX cards, those duplicates.
I do have, and it's just a Chrome extension I haven't. I had a friend who made a Chrome extension just for practice called Extension Against Humanity.
Mhm.
And it's all the Cards Against Humanity, so you click it and it just gives you a random pair of cards.
Ooh.
And every so often I'm like, click, click. Maybe I'll remember to see if I can figure out where he linked it these days. But he made it for fun when we were in school. And it was like, okay, I'll take that. That's fun.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, I think we can start diving into the topics of the week.
Well, you didn't give yourself a crazy title this week.
Oh, well,
disappointed.
my title really is the one I should have done in December is the official punk rock Santa Claus,
Oh.
because I have a red leather jacket that I like to wear. This week, since I don't have an image of it, but Caitlin did give me a Chewbacca jacket that I wore to Star Wars D&D. So this week, I am the official Chewbacca of the podcast.
Oh, God.
Beautiful.
This is going to be like this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Invited me.
Well,
the official Pliss Puncast. A pun every 5 minutes or your money back. That's a trick
thank God
because
this is free. Because I can't do puns on demand.
Yeah.
Well, and then you didn't let me introduce myself. You want to run right into the topics, don't you?
I just want to talk. I want to go. I'm just looking to hit the ground running. I'm doing the whole Roadrunner thing. I'm like, blah, 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 beep, beep.
We do care.
So, as always, I'm Alexander. This is all my crazy thing. It's 17 episodes in. I mean, if you're new, hi! This is not a normal episode. Go watch the last episode. That shit show is the normal episode.
Oh, that episode's rough.
It's
What?
I had a what's
Huh?
up?
I'm in this one, so watch this one.
Yeah, this one's the bigger deal.
This one's probably going to be way cleaner.
If there was an episode to tell us to stop, it would have been last week's episode. But we still got the energy. We're still waking up on these Sundays and doing another episode.
It's 11:40. Well, it's 1:40. You should be awake by now.
Yeah, but it's like I could be playing like Don't Starve with my girlfriend. And,
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get into the topics because that'll be big. But I do have some big news, as it were, which is that it would have been on Friday. I went to my ballroom dance class, kind of as I always do, and I was convinced to agree to do the spring showcase. So I'm asking a few music friends to, as soon as we figure out what song, we're going to do a waltz to either a Halo or Mass Effect song.
Ooh.
Choreographed waltz, and I'm going to perform it in front of people, which is terrifying, but also, like, I'm super excited about it.
Dude, I'd be down. Let me know when that's going on. I'll buy tickets.
Yeah, it's all the way. Thankfully, I've got till June.
Okay.
That was kind of my big bit of news for this week. You know, the rest of the week I've been working and playing video.
You're describing what I think is a nerd mating ritual. The glasses-wearing nerd will often choose a theme song to match his motions to encourage a mate.
I got really lucky with my dance instructor in that she is a giant-ass nerd, and every time I walk in with my N7 hoodie or my Jack Harkness coat, she's like, I'm so jealous. So this time around, I'm like, so when this came up, we're like, obviously it's going to have to be a Mass Effect or a Halo or a Doctor Who thing. Obviously, duh.
There you go. Well, I mean, Doctor Who wearing the actual Doctor outfit would kind of fit a waltz, in my opinion. I don't watch Doctor Who, but that's just the impression that I get.
It could. Unfortunately, I've got Harkness's coat, which is a side character, but even him doing a waltz would be fairly fitting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of figuring out which one to do.
Cool. Well, tell me when in June I need to be coming up to Seattle. And
Sounds good. I'm sure I'll make a big deal about it because this is going to be a big deal in general. Also, I don't like performing, and she talked. It was like, do you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Oh shit.
I promise not to jeer out loud.
Cheering out loud is fun. It's laughing.
I cannot make the same promise.
I know. All right. So, was there? Yeah, I guess we did all that. We did the introductions. We don't really need to check in on how Caitlin's week's been because we haven't met her before.
Oh, hey.
Unless you've done anything exciting for this
Burn.
week.
Nation, my
Jeez.
week's been great. Thanks for caring.
Oh, I try.
Oh,
No,
Do
but actually,
not.
how's your week been? Or
it's
your
been
last while
nice.
since...
Since, well, I was born on December 24th, 1990. No, my week's been great. I've been working a lot. I've been playing Don't Starve Together with Doc, which has been really, really fun. I would recommend that game to anyone. Yeah, that's been my life. Working
So, you guys...
so classic,
Yeah. Well, you guys went to do that. I booted up a Minecraft server about a week and a half ago.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't think I managed to go to sleep before midnight any day of this week. Because I have a TeamSpeak server, and I've got a Minecraft server with friends now.
Nice.
And that game, I hate it so much. Because I lose so much sleep to that game.
Oh, jeez. It is, yeah, that is a very addictive game because back when I was working retail and that was a game that we could play on the consoles, I was the host of Minecraft Mondays for all these kids to come in and play Minecraft. And
Aww.
and they only asked me because they're like, "You're a gamer. Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Sure." They're like, "Do you know Minecraft?" I was like, "Not at all." And so I had a coworker show me this game. The next thing I know, I am just burning hours into this game, and I'm like, I don't know why this is so addicting. The sounds and everything, it just appeals. Just give me more.
What you're saying is I should buy you Minecraft PC so you can play with us.
I'm saying that if you do, you might be. If you do, and then a week later I lose my job, it's your fault.
That's okay. That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Okay.
It's not a risk I'm willing to take. I want to play Don't Starve with me.
See?
You just get Minecraft too, then.
Thanks for caring about the fact that I might be jobless in the future.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, there's that too. But if you lost your job, you'd have more time for Don't Starve.
Good.
I mean, she has a good point.
Yeah. Because that's all we're just trying to do is make enough money so we could just play video games for the rest of our lives.
Is
Are
that
you being sarcastic?
Not, I'm like half sarcastic, half honest.
Because that sounds pretty good.
That sounds like what I would do when I'm in my old age. Hey, Grandpa, do you want to walk around the park? Fuck you! I'm playing Call of Duty 28.
I have a great idea related to that, but I don't want to say it on air because I don't want to give it away to anybody.
Yeah.
But I have a very similar just turn my life into playing nothing but video games idea that isn't Let's Plays.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, let's get into this. Our big topic for this week, we were going to let me and Doc talk about Star Wars, but me and Doc talked about Star Wars on a
We had a
podcast.
whole episode of that.
Yeah, which I haven't finished editing, but will go up soonish.
Gotcha.
Our big topic this week is VR. Something I'm incredibly excited about, although too poor to currently afford, in more than the Gear VR, which is behind me.
And that's where Caitlin's an interesting guest to have on this topic because she has a certain Caitlin, do you want to explain your experience with VR?
Yeah, so I've tried out the Oculus Rift at PAX 2 years in a row, and it just instantly makes me really, really sick, like nauseous, immediately. And I haven't found any way of dealing with that. Oh my god, what is that?
That is the Gear VR.
Beautiful.
Keep going.
No, but the Oculus, in addition to, like, I don't have amazing eyesight, but it's not that bad, and I find it difficult to focus when I'm wearing the Oculus Rift. Like, I can't really see anything quite properly, and I get really sick. So for me, the experience is there's this big chunk of stuff on your head, and nothing's in focus, and also you're going to be nauseous for the next 2 hours. Have fun.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've tried every VR headset with the exception of the production run of the Oculus Rift. For the last 3 years at PAX, I bought the Gear VR because it was on sale for half off at PAX, and then that just became the normal price, and I was like, fuck.
They gotcha.
But I had the phone that works with it, so I was like, whatever, I'll buy it. And honestly, I haven't played that many games on it because VR's biggest problem is that I can't multitask. I can't watch YouTube while I'm playing Minecraft. I have played so much Minecraft, I can watch anime that is subtitled, and still do things in Minecraft without missing either of them, which is mildly depressing, really.
I mean, my best friend, puts on bad TV shows while she's gaming. So
Yeah, I mean, it's what you do. It's that or podcasts.
it's not really what I do.
For me, it's both at the same time.
Bad TV, podcasts, and games.
Yep.
So
Is that
what
an
do you think
ADD?
about
Is that an ADD tendency?
It's just I need constant noise. I can just hear all three just colliding together in a cacophony of just terrible noise. No, not really. But I do, like when I go to work, I listen to a lot of podcasts while I work, and
You're lucky.
then while I'm at home and I'm either working or doing stuff on the computer, I like to have a TV show or a movie going on. And yeah, the dual monitors allow that to happen. And the way I see VR is that they're essentially making a console to play a new set of games. And the thing is it's not going to appeal to me one bit as a hardcore gamer. Like, I am not interested in dropping $600 on this new kind of console for this new experience to play these new games, unless it was also a 1080p TV that essentially just connects to my face.
So I reject your assertion that this is a console.
Okay.
This is something I've been seeing in a lot of the gaming podcasts. Everybody's pissed off. So the Oculus Rift, we don't normally do news or topical stuff, but the Oculus Rift has announced its price point is $600 US. You need a high-end, top-of-the-line gaming PC to run it. So you need a 970, 8 gigs of RAM, and a modern i5, like a new generation i5 processor. So that's a pretty hefty rig on its own. The spitball price point is about $1,500 for the rig and the Oculus Rift from scratch. It's a little less for me since I've got most of a rig right here. So that price is insane, and people are freaking out about it. They're like, how dare, ignoring the fact that, your phone, if it wasn't subsidized, is an $800 product.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is people are constantly like, just go look at what happened with the PS3. It came out at an obscenely high price, and it didn't do that well. People are constantly making the parallels to consoles, and that's not what this is. That's not what this is. This thing isn't a console.
Okay. Then what is it beyond a console? Explain to me what it is beyond it.
It's a new device. It's a new it's a new piece of technology. It's as significant as the smartphone was. The smartphone changeover was from the flip phone.
Okay, so what purpose does it serve me other than playing virtual reality video games?
There's a lot of usability for surgeons and other remote kind of call-in jobs.
Okay, so professional use, but for home use. For home use. I'm not going to be putting this on. I know my name's Doc, but I'm not going to be performing surgery. For home use, it is broadcasted as a gaming device, like a console.
Which I think is there, because what this is to me is I don't need a TV anymore. Because you can stream Netflix to even the Gear VR.
Okay, so that makes a lot more sense as to why it's the price that it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm not knocking the price at all. I know how much these things cost to make and how much they are to sell, and that things like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are able to sell at cheaper prices than that, mainly because they also have their own internal marketplace in which they can get money back, in which people uploading content there also gets them a percentage whenever something's sold. Yeah. So for this, since it acts as like a TV screen or like another computer screen as well that can go directly to your face, and you could even, I'm assuming you could play even regular video games, like it doesn't have to be VR based.
So yeah, basically what happens there is it gives you a giant ass monitor, so you look like you're in a home theater system. Mm-hmm. But the other one I'm really excited for is you can get it so that there's VR programs in development that are just you put it on and you're at an office. So you can have like windows floating all around you, like hologram, like Tony Stark style. Mm-hmm. except you have a VR headset on.
Gotcha. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of fail videos coming from this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's where, I mean, I'm a little skeptical to trust anything that's supposed to limit my field of vision in the actual reality, mainly because it's like, for me, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's not that big. I don't have a lot of space to work with. I even have a video on a friend's phone where my friend is using the PlayStation VR at PAX, and he headbutts the guy who is running the booth.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because it's a game where you're supposed to like lurch your head forward to knock helicopters out of the air, and the guy is like looking at the screen watching him play, so he doesn't see my friend come in and just headbutt him on the side. It was hilarious.
That's absolutely amazing. I love that story.
That's some.
And the guy wasn't even mad. He's like, "Can you show me that video?" And we showed him. He's like, "Oh, can you email that to me? I want to hold on to that."
I mean,
when you put up the podcast, I want to see it.
Yeah, I don't have it. It was on my friend's phone because it was his girlfriend that was recording it.
Can we segue off VR? Can we talk about how video game code names for things are always so much cooler?
Not always. Don't say that because
frequently a lot cooler than the name they freaking choose.
Because I immediately thought of Project Natal, which was the code name for Kinect.
Yeah, actually, I liked Project Natal better than I liked Kinect.
It's such a terrible marketing thing. It's like, hey kids, try the new Natal.
See, I thought you were gonna go with Project Dolphin, which was the GameCube.
Oh, really?
Try
the new Dolphin box. You click a button.
Morpheus is such a cool sounding name.
Yeah, I really wish they kept it as Morpheus.
PlayStation VR. I mean, it's still not as bad as what Nintendo did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because the other thing is that with Morpheus, the other thing is like there are certain people. It's like you probably don't want to associate it with a whole different like franchise that's not owned by your company. Like,
honestly, I don't know.
I'm not saying there's anything like majorly wrong with it. It seems really weird where it's like we're gonna base our brand new product. We're like this huge major company that also makes movies, but we're going to name it after a franchise that we don't own.
No, because Morpheus comes from mythology. It's the Greek god of dreams.
Yeah, but this is definitely a ripoff to Morpheus from The Matrix.
See, I didn't think The Matrix.
That's because you study mythology.
Then again, I also don't like The Matrix.
Yeah, you study mythology and you hate fun things. We've discussed this on the Star Wars episode. So
I'm actually interested in mythology, and I've only ever seen The Matrix once, and I still thought of The Matrix. So
there we go. Well, yeah. Thank you, babe.
Backing him up.
Sorry.
Just helping me out.
But also, we have the revolution.
You got yourself into a pickle now. It's 2v1, Alex. You can't win anything.
Bring it. I'll take it.
You want to fight? You want to go?
Watch the latest episode of the podcast where we forget how computers work.
Come at me.
Hey, soon we'll be able to do that, right?
Yeah, soon.
That's what it is. We'll put on our headsets and we'll just go fight it out.
I'm pretty sure that's what Project Morpheus does.
The haptic feedback vests, which are so cool.
Geez.
Wait,
that's where. Oh yeah, explain this one.
Yeah, they're expensive too. They're like $600 or $700 also, but it's just a vest you put on with tons of little teeny motors in it. And the idea is, and you can get like cheaper ones with less motors, but the idea is that it's just all over your body, and so anytime something hits you, like or you get shot, the motor goes and moves enough that you actually feel the impact.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, now if that thing can also give me a massage, I'm in.
There are other things that can give you massages.
No, but like they're all in one deal. If I'm paying $600-700 for it, I want back rubs.
It can also do back rubs.
So is that how much you paid for Doc?
That's how much I charge. $600-700. But I also get to deliver all my knowledgeable facts about the Avengers Cinematic Universe.
He does that too. It's a great.
I'm so sorry for you.
It's
great.
It's an added benefit. But Yeah, the haptic feedback vest is cool, which makes me really excited. I think we've talked about it on a previous episode, but the Void, the actual virtual reality theme park that they're going to be doing, like, because that's where I see this kind of stuff really going to the next level, is that we actually get to deliver for all these people who can't buy these home experiences and probably don't have an excuse to make it a home experience and use it on a constant basis. We at least get to show them this environment and experience virtual reality in this really cool way. That's how I want my virtual reality to be, is kind of be an escape, is like I want to go and not make it my everyday thing. Like, I prefer to stay in reality.
And honestly, I'm a bigger fan of augmented reality, which is the HoloLens, which doesn't have anything to do with holograms. That is not the actual definition of a hologram, but the HoloLens or the Google Glass is really where I think the actual mass market future is.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Because it's an extension off your phone. You are in the world around you and using that information.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to talk about sticker shock, the dev kit for the HoloLens is $3,000.
Yeah. Not surprised there. Well, that's where, with something like the HoloLens, it's like, that's where I fully agree that that is something that is not a console, because the modern use is supposed to be something that you connect to your phone, and you could use it as a business person, or you could use it as a Twitch streamer, or you can use it as all these different things other than video games specifically.
That's well, I think VR is going to bank on the gaming, the hardcore gaming enthusiast community to get started, because if you want people who spend stupid amounts of money on peripherals, you go to the PC gaming community.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
the hands-on throttle with the pedals.
Oh yeah.
My dad's set up for his airplane games. Just he's not even into gaming like at all, but he has this flight simulator, and then he has this entire like pod that he's built with all the like controls and everything. Like, it's insane.
And actually, what's funny about that is he could save a lot of money if he had an Oculus Rift, because he doesn't have to have the monitor pod.
Yeah, well, and my mom might be a little bit happier too, because it's like kind of halfway built into her kitchen. So.
Yeah, there's a bunch of the simulation enthusiasts who are just, you're like, oh, that's where this is marketed toward. Got it.
Yeah, and actually, I would agree that like the Oculus Rift is a much better tool for like flight simulation, exploration type games, and not combat at all.
Unless it's play combat.
Because as far as combat games, the way I see it, be it a melee combat game or if it's a first-person shooter, anything like that, I feel like the experience is kind of hinged on even more peripherals, not just like a haptic feedback vest, but it's like if you're going to have that experience, it's like you would want to have a gun in your hand, or you would want to have a little bit of extra this and that. But I also think that kind of environment, I don't know. I would have to. I'm gonna have to play the wait and see game. I'm not gonna know like whether first-person shooters are gonna like change it all. But I have a feeling that a lot of people aren't gonna want to change their first-person shooter experience from a TV or computer screen to a VR headset. No,
and I think there's enough cooperation between the three major VR companies, the HTC Vive, the PlayStation VR, and Oculus, that I think they're not gonna make the same mistake that phone games have made. Which is, phone games keep trying to shoehorn in as much of traditional gaming mechanics into a phone, ignoring the fact that the phone is not designed for those inputs.
Yeah, which is why the best phone games are puzzle games. It's using like touchscreen advantage to their best abilities. Of just slide this, move that.
Fruit Ninja, guys.
Fruit Ninja. Yeah.
I was thinking of Tomb Raider Go. Or
Fruit Ninja. Oh, drop the mic. Hitman Go is a great example of a AAA company adapting a major franchise to the phone format, where Hitman Go is just a puzzle game where you move your guy around and you just gotta understand enemy movements, and it's a really fun puzzle game.
And Lara Croft Go, the same company, same series, same lineage, it's actually my favorite Lara Croft game, and I love the new reboot. But it's such a good little game.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm excited about, because if we do this right, we're going to unlock a whole new world of games.
A whole new world.
You went there.
I thought about going there, but he beat me to it.
Yeah, he beat me to it too.
Yeah. And that's where Caitlin brought up a great point. Is that I think the true market in which if companies really capitalize, it's the exploration game. It's taking advantage of throwing you into a setting that's so different from anywhere that you could ever be. Where it's like you can do an amazing sci-fi exploration game. I always thought like a Dead Space survival game. Like if you took the combat out of Dead Space and made it about survival and running around in a terrifying spaceship hangar, like that would be incredible.
Horror games are I don't like horror in general. I'm a baby about horror.
I have a weird fascination with horror out of the fact that I love to identify what's good and what's bad about horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine games on par with Soma or Amnesia or the Aliens Isolation, which had a VR mode? Like horror in VR is going to be one of these things that is going to be a nightmare.
God, the worst thing that my friends ever did to me was late at night, they sat me down in a chair and they turned off all of the lights and they put a noise-canceling headset on me. And then they made me play Slender, and they all left the room and just waited to hear me scream. I didn't like it, and if it was, that was pretty close to VR. I mean, they went all out with the environment, and... Yeah. I can't deal with that.
There is a game that you can get on your phone. It's an AR horror game, and it uses the phone's internal GPU to map your house and layer the monsters in on top of your actual house.
I hate that.
I've heard of this game. It sounds.
And it uses your phone's flash and stuff for mood lighting.
No.
And I don't want to play it. Because I'll cry, but I think it's such a good idea, and it's weird that horror is going to be the mainstay genre to move into both of those realms.
Yeah,
horror games have kind of historically been very bad, and as we move into these cutting edge realms, horror games are oh, it's our turn.
Well, see, and that's the funny thing is that horror games actually had played a very big part in early stages of video games out of the fact that we haven't figured out gameplay mechanics yet. So we had very tank-based things, and so in order to survive these really tough layouts, it just was very difficult to move around. It's like they took advantage of our lack of knowledge and made it a strength. And and then after a while, we figured out how to do proper gameplay and how to make characters move faster and make animations better and do all this. And then eventually horror games fell by the wayside. And now with this new generation of consoles, I don't think that has anything to do with it, but we've just been getting a huge stack of really good horror games lately. It's been coming back in a really, really great ways.
The other really big reason I'm rooting for AR is because I want my damn RTSs that you walk up to just your kitchen room table and you're like,
oh yeah,
you feel like a general sand pushing the little thing. Give me that game. And actually, there is a company doing it. It's the company that made another game. It's called Terra for VR.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's not quite the same because I have to sit there. That doesn't come with a controller, so I have to sit there and there's a little touch button and go click, 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 and I hurt my neck when I played the demo.
Gotcha.
Because I was doing
just doing all those neck rolls.
Yeah, StarCraft style actions per minute, but with your neck.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Caitlin, do you do anime?
Sometimes, roughly. Are we going to talk about Sword Art Online?
Yes.
Yeah, I can talk about Sword Art Online.
As we get to this, for everybody else, Sword Art Online is basically it's the conceit of the Matrix, which is everybody's brain jacking themselves into you put on a helmet and you're in a VR world, like your brain and body is, but it's a consumer product, not a robots have taken over the world and are using you as a battery. Is that the right?
Yeah. I think
it is.
Efficient, by the way. That's an inefficient power source. Anyway, yeah. So Sword Art Online. I mean, honestly, that would be like my ideal if VR happened. If I was going to participate in it, just the reality of what they are representing in Sword Art Online, where like it's your body moving. It's not you feel like you're in bed wearing a helmet. It's you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
I also feel like that really can't happen. Like, because either it's not real enough, and then I feel as though it's, kind of gimmicky, like, wearing a helmet. I don't like wearing a helmet. Like, I would rather, play things on a TV if I'm going to be playing a game where I don't feel like I'm in the world.
That's fair.
And if it's too real, then some people are going to have real problems. People are going to starve to death. Like,
so we're gonna have that with this generation of VR. Like almost without fail, we're gonna develop new. I'm almost certain we're gonna develop new psychological. What's the word? Issues. Disorders with people and VR, because we have it with games already.
No, you feel like you're physically in a world where it's escape. Like, you're going to have people who are just going to die. I think that's a really big problem.
It's gonna be interesting.
I mean, it's kind of this weird. It kind of goes back to a conversation Caitlin and I had last night about escapism, where it's like certain people, like, that's going to be their escape from all this reality is to go into this virtual reality, but like this amount of escapism, any amount of constant escapism, just becomes just unhealthy to a very large extent. So it's kind of, certain people are going to get addicted to this, like, guaranteed. That's just what's going to happen. And I don't know. I mean, is it their choice to get addicted and keep going, or is it?
Or do you you don't let someone's account access for more than however many hours? Like, what do you?
I mean, we'll probably get a bit of both, right? Because I'm a really big believer. I'm the person who will put the second generation of chip in my brain. I won't beta test it, but I'll definitely be the person who's like, oh, I can put my computer in my brain now? Okay. So I'm a really big believer in, like...
Podcat.
in that, people who are going to become addicted to it and are going to... I'm like, that can't slow down everybody else.
No.
But
it
also...
will not. Yeah.
I mean, even WoW, which I played a lot of...
that ruined my life.
Yeah, it ruined mine for a bit. Even WoW, though, pops up a message now, and it's like, you need to get off. And Guild Wars 2 does it even more. Guild Wars 2 puts it in front of your screen and goes, get off. You've been playing for like 10 hours, because I left it on.
Oh, gotcha.
You left it on.
The only game I've played for... Okay, that's not true, because Minecraft. But I burst a blood vessel playing Mass Effect 3.
Like,
in my eye.
What?
So it came out... Mass Effect 3 came out. It was finals week. So I bought the game, went to my first final, didn't have another final that day, started playing the game, played it for like 6 hours, didn't have a final the next day, so played it for like 14, studied a little bit, went to my other finals, and then finished the game straight through, and I burst a blood vessel in my right eye.
I feel like you deserve that.
Went to the doctor, and I'm like, what happened? They're like, well, it looks like you've been staring at something for a long time. I'm like, oh. Okay, that's fair.
Well, I mean, it's good.
Just like, oh, okay, and then you just ran out. Like,
yeah, just like, fine.
Oh, diagnosed? Cool. Then just...
I'd never confess.
Yeah. And that's where at least this system is connected. It's gonna, like, if people are using it for games, it's connected to an online base, which allows them to go, like, hey, you've been playing for this many hours, you need to stop. Whereas with console games, they don't have that liberty to say, you've been playing Mass Effect 3 for 3 days straight. You need to go have some celery and some water.
Well, I had the water, because I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't have the celery.
I just said celery for an arbitrary reason. It's not like a cure for gamers.
Do you think that would have kept my blood vessels from blowing up?
Maybe, yeah. It's celery and carrots. They're great for your eyes, based on a lie that they told everyone in the 1940s.
Is that a lie?
Yeah, the carrots are good for your eyes.
That we had radar technology. That was a secret.
Mm-hmm.
So they started saying that American soldiers had superior eyesight and they could see all the planes coming and whatever because they ate a lot of carrots.
Yeah, they chose some arbitrary thing. They're like, what are they eating to make us really good at seeing at night? Carrots.
That was a lie?
Yeah.
What?
Mind blown.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that on a podcast a while back, and I had the same reaction that you did because I lived my whole life thinking carrots are good for your eyes.
Yeah.
Very effective propaganda.
Yeah.
That's true.
And see, and yeah, that lie even spilled out into American culture, and then I guess the carrot market took advantage of that and was like, we need to just keep it going. And then it's like, if you tell this lie long enough, if you start saying that it's the truth, it's going to have major repercussions, and it's going to ruin everyone's day. It's similar to like vitamin C. That one, vitamin C doesn't really do much for fighting stuff with your immune system or helping your immune system at all.
Really?
Yeah, that was actually more propaganda of back when it was used as a cure for scurvy, and that it helps like gingivitis and things like that. And then they started saying it's a disease fighter, it helps your immune system. When it's like, no, it just does the whole scurvy and gingivitis thing.
Isn't scurvy just a deficiency of vitamin C?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's it.
Vitamin C helps vitamin C deficiency?
Yeah.
No.
That's the equivalent. And so, granted, I do have vitamin C like pretty regularly, just because like that many vitamins, it gives me like it just boosts like it makes me feel awake. It's almost like having like a cup of coffee.
So I learned something really interesting about that. What?
I didn't hear what Caitlin said.
No, me neither.
I said you don't want to get scurvy, so.
Oh yeah, see,
It's almost impossible to get scurvy these days.
Yeah.
If you eat cereal, you're fine, because it's so fortified with vitamins.
Fortified. Anyway, what were you saying?
No, I learned the funniest thing I've ever seen was somebody was talking about, look at all the vitamins I take. I take these, and the doctor's like, it was a TV doctor or something, and they're like, do you need that? Like, are you deficient? They're like, no, I just take it because it's better for me. And they went, your pee must be really expensive. Because that's all it did, is the body just kind of flushed it straight out.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like with Emergency, the vitamin C packets, it says to take one a day. And that's the limit, mainly because if you have one like after a 4-hour period, it might be fine, just based on human digestion. But if you have like 3 packets real close together, you're only going to absorb about 1,000 from the one packet, and the other 2,000 from the other packet. You're just going to pee out of your body super fast.
You know what's absolutely horrible is the serving size and like suggested like number of times per day for airborne. Like chewable airborne tablets, they're like, yeah, take 4 tablets 3 times daily. It's something like 12,000% of your recommended frequency a
Now,
day.
hold on. Are you talking about your gummy prescription that you have at your place? Because I have a pill version that I think it says 1 a day.
No, so I have the airborne gummy vitamins now because I'm a grown-up, and but I used to have just like chewable tablets that were more of a like powder consistency, and those ones were like, yeah, take 12 a day. I never did. Of course not. It's insane.
Yeah, this is something you're like, no.
Yeah, that's
No.
like
I'm not gonna.
that's like
Anything.
$4 a day of airborne
Yeah.
tablets.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I see your game.
It's like, I understand how you work. You want me to run out faster.
Exactly. 12 a day.
That's a. Ouch. Kidneys. Your kidneys are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why?
That's where, then there's another thing where it's like, I don't know what association set it up, but it's like everyone does not have to post the daily value percentage of sugar on their products when it comes to like what it contains. And so because if you look up the daily percentage allowed that is suggested, it's like, I don't know, like 30 grams. So if you're looking at a bottle of Coke, it'll say you're getting like 3,000% of your daily value of sugar. And that percentage would discourage anyone from buying it. Well, any logical person. I'm sure there's other people who's like, fuck it, yeah, I just want Coca-Cola.
Fuck it. My big one is the one that I always love is expiration dates aren't real. The only thing that the FDA mandates for expiration dates, if I remember, it's baby formula and eggs or something.
Okay, it's good that eggs, because I did throw away some expired eggs
No,
recently.
actually, I don't think it's I don't remember what it is.
All right, so facts about eggs. I know facts about eggs. Would you like facts about eggs?
Yes, please tell me some facts about eggs.
Okay, so in Europe, they actually do not refrigerate their eggs. They don't wash them, and they don't refrigerate them. In the United States, you have to wash your eggs, but washing the eggs takes away this coating that helps to preserve them, so then you have to refrigerate them. In Great Britain, they don't have the regulations that make you wash the eggs first, so fresh out of the chicken's butt, there you go, good to go.
And they're still alive, so you know.
The other thing about eggs is, like, forget expiration dates. You can tell if they are old by putting them into a bowl of water, and if they float, you should not eat them. If at least some part of them is still touching the bottom of the bowl, then they're fine. And the reason for that is that as eggs age, there's this pocket of air inside of them that will expand and make them more buoyant as they get older. So if they're buoyant enough to float, you definitely do not want to eat them.
That's when you throw it at somebody, right?
Yeah.
And those eggs.
Facts with Caitlin. Thank you for doing it.
Egg facts with Caitlin. And these are American
Excellent.
eggs. It's not if I buy these eggs from Great Britain, right?
That's all eggs.
Well, if you import eggs from Great Britain, first I'm going to ask you why. But I mean, the floating thing still applies.
I think Customs wants to talk to you. But no, my big thing is, so if you see expiration dates on just about anything, it's the company putting it there.
Gotcha.
And the company doesn't, like, and part of that is the company's probably telling you your orange juice is expired about 2 weeks before it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, it gets you to buy more oranges faster, and two, if you were to eat an orange after the expiration date and you get sick from it, it's like, well, we posted the expiration date, so.
Well, yeah, it keeps
like,
them.
and if you got sick, it's not our fault. You ate it after the expiration date.
Yeah.
I swear.
It's about virtual reality.
It's the same way that, like, ketchup says to keep refrigerated. And if you go to a diner, no ketchup on the tables are refrigerated. It's because you don't need to refrigerate ketchup at all. But they put that there in case someone's like, I got sick for this. It's like, well, did you leave it out? And I got sick from this because I left it out and then I ate it and you didn't tell me. It's like, no, we wrote on there keep refrigerated, even though you don't have to.
So I spent 6 months in Canada. And, oh my God, even being away for that long, the fact that, like, people don't joke about, oh, we'll just sue them, in that same pseudo-serious way that Americans do, was really disconcerting. But then coming back, and, like, I finally kind of got used to that, and I kind of forgot that everything, everything around us is because of suing. Yeah. And came back, and I'm like, oh, right, we sue about every freaking little thing.
Yeah.
How long ago were you in Canada?
I came back in March, and I was up in Calgary for 6 months.
Cool.
Which I'm sure everybody who listens is sick of me saying, but it was a big part of time.
Yeah.
And I managed to stay for the entire winter, and nothing else.
That sounds poorly planned.
It was only a mild winter. We only hit minus 20 Celsius.
Certain parts of Canada is just all winter.
That's true. Edmonton, which was 2 hours north, is all winter and nothing but winter.
It's winter every day of the year.
We got really far afield from VR, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's the point of the podcast, is we kind of just do... Now we're just a factual podcast episode today. It's like, hey, if you want some facts about food...
What's the expiration date on virtual reality? Does it go bad? If you leave a world, do the trees continue to grow?
Well, that's a question we have about games. Have you gone back... How is your Neopet doing?
Oh, no! Don't remind me!
Or even better, how's your Nintendog?
Okay, I didn't play that. But I did play Neopets, and actually about once or twice a year, I'll just start feeling bad, and I'll go and log in again and put them all, like, in the hotel, for as long as it'll let me, so that they're fed. I could go do that right now, actually. It's been a few months.
It's just one of those little things. I take care of
my Neopets, like, twice a year.
I feel really bad about my Nintendog copy, actually. Like, anytime I'm like, those puppies are dead!
Yeah.
They were all so cute.
I was, like, semi-famous on Neopets, because I had this, like, collection of screenshots of people being dumb on the forums, And like I kept them, all updated, and I made snarky comments, and like a lot of people knew who I was. They were like, "Oh, you're the person with the screenshots."
Yeah. Isn't that just called people being on forums?
Well, I mean, I guess, but if I posted somewhere, people would be like, "Oh my God, it's you!"
Oh, it's funny.
That's where certain games like that, I never got into anything that maintained like constant attention. Like there was one video game that I got called State of Decay, and one of its first iterations of its release was that it was a zombie apocalypse game where it's like even when you're not playing, it degrades your supplies and everyone eats and does all this while you're gone. So I stopped playing for like a week, and I got back on, and everyone was starving and had no food because no one was going out and scavenge. I was like, I didn't sign up for an actual zombie apocalypse. I signed it up for a momentary vacation where everyone's dead and I don't have to have any responsibilities other than staying alive.
Tamagotchi? Either of you?
No.
Tamagotchi?
I had the Pikachu Tamagotchi.
I
Oh.
killed 3 in the space of 2 weeks. I never went back.
Murderer. I had a lot of Tamagotchis. I
Which
kept them all on
generation?
myself. I was
Oh, you were a cool kid.
cool.
You had the Tamagotchi belt?
Yeah, well, just on the belt loop of my pants, I had like 4 Tamagotchis all strung up. I had a Triceratops one, and I had the one that was like a human baby, and then I had one that had 2. It was like a cat and a dog on the same device. And I had a T-Rex. Those were my Tamagotchis. Why are you laughing? I was
No,
the coolest
I'm remembering growing up, and that was just a thing. It was either on the backpack or on the belt loop. Kids had as many as they could get.
And I had a Pikachu too, but the thing is that my parents didn't like me having the Pikachu one because they didn't like me being into Pokemon really. So what I did was I had my grandparents take care of my Pikachu Tamagotchi whenever I couldn't because my parents wouldn't let me.
That's
And
such
my
a weird
grandparents would
thing for your parents to not let you. Like, your parents just not wanting you to be into Pokemon.
it wasn't because of like the evolution or the
That was the
dog
question.
fighting or whatever. It was because when I was 7 or 8, my grandfather got me my first little gaming device, which was the Game Boy Pocket, the one that came out before the Game Boy Color. I actually still have it. It's at my house right now. But he got me that and Pokemon Red. And I proceeded to play that game every waking moment until someone forced me to stop. And my parents were like, you have to stop. You go outside, do something, do anything. Like, you have to stop. And they take it
Ooh.
from me. Eventually, it just got to the point where, like, my life was out of control. And they said, okay, you can't play Pokemon anymore.
That's fair.
Oh.
I mean,
So you had an addictive personality even before World of Warcraft came into play.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
and then
we need to
once
settle
Warcraft
this.
happened.
Alliance or Horde?
Horde!
Get the fuck off!
You get the fuck off!
There's 2v1, Alex. You're outnumbered.
Oh, shut up! You never played WoW.
Horde.
RuneScape.
Horde. I'm a hoarder. Horde.
Well, Doc didn't get past RuneScape though.
I'm a part of the Horde.
Give me your rune armor, I'll gold trim it for you.
I actually paid. That was the first subscription game I ever paid into. Was RuneScape.
So I didn't have any way of like paying for things online or whatever, so I actually like mailed $60 into the Jagex headquarters, and I was
Wow.
like, "This is my name. Can you please give me a year subscription?" And they did.
That's awesome.
That's adorable.
I
Yeah.
convinced my parents to do it, and then they forgot it was on the card, and then they remembered when I was like, "Hey, can we cancel that?" And they're like, "Oh God, we're still paying for that?" And then I did the same thing with my WoW subscription for like 4 years. They just
On your
forgot that. Yeah, they forgot they were paying for it, and I got away with a WoW subscription. And I was supposed to pay them every month the $15. And after a little while, I realized they kept getting surprised when I would give them the money, and I stopped paying them.
Yeah, nice. So okay, so you were Alliance scum, whatever.
Dwarf
but,
Hunter.
Like, what did you? Dwarf Hunter.
Dwarf Hunter.
Huntard, come on. You have no
What were you?
credibility if you were playing. I
Yeah,
was an
Alex.
undead
Undead Lock?
undead warlock. Yeah, I always had a lock. Like, I never played anything but warlock. I guess I had a priest for healing and stuff, but I had several warlocks.
I had a lot of hunters. I dabbled. I tried the melee classes. Didn't like any of the melee classes.
Yep.
Um,
I tried playing a mage, and it was just like being a really, really bad warlock. So,
I tried playing. I didn't really hook in with the warlock that big. Um,
Mhm.
I tried the mage. Kind of was like, okay, I can play the mage, but I'd rather play the hunter. The other one I got really into was druid.
Druid.
I know I said it weird. Druid. Uh, Back when
Yo,
that
Druid, what's
meant
going on?
something, and I had to play a night elf.
Mhm.
That was that was my alt that I really kind of fell in love with was that. Plus, it was the first time I had camo. I played with 2 rogues,
Uh-huh.
and so we would be like traveling, and we'd be like, well, that's a field full of really high level monsters, and they would both stealth and walk through it, and be like, where are you? And I'm like,
Guys,
I'm halfway there, and there's just this wall of mobs behind me.
guys, come on.
It was
Come
that
on, you
bad.
guys.
It was like, you guys, where are, and they're like, why are you so slow? I'm like, I can't stealth. Why don't you understand this?
Oh.
All right, we have to start wrapping up the episode.
Oh.
Yeah, this episode was definitely a let's the nerds play.
We got VR for a good long while, like more than
Yeah.
half an hour.
Oh yeah, and then anyone who stayed along get to enjoy some new facts that will change their views on carrots forever.
And
Yeah.
eggs. Yeah.
And eggs. All right. Yeah, I guess it's about time. Yeah, we definitely need to wrap up. Caitlin, where can they find you?
Yo.
Where can they find your stuff? You know.
Well, it's shirocosmetics.com. That's SHIRO cosmetics.com. I am Caitlin Johnstone on Facebook. Please don't add me unless you know me, you weirdo.
No Twitter or anything?
I mean, I'm Shiro Cosmetics on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really do the social media thing.
That's fair.
I'm
Doc?
on Instagram most. If you want pictures of my cat, Instagram is where you go. Shiro Cosmetics.
There we go.
For me, follow me at on the website podcastlostinSpace.com. Check out all the podcasts I'm going to be releasing. I'm becoming the podcast guru, with this one being the only one that I don't host on.
And you're not inviting me to the damn video game podcast. It's my damn
Because
website.
those are all in person, which is
Oh.
what makes those so entertaining. We'll figure out you to get you on one, and we'll have you do an argument with Brian over Dragon Age. And if you want to follow me on Twitter at Doc Von Derwin, I haven't been tweeting much or doing anything like that, but maybe you can inspire me and change my terrible ways of not being a social media whore. And yeah.
Cool. And then, as always, you can find me at Redbeard, REDBREARD. Yes, I spelled that right. On just about anything. If that doesn't work, add a 242 at the end of it. That'll be me also. That happens a lot when I've made an account and then I forget that I have that account and I get pissed off that somebody else has my name and then I realize they're both my account. I use Twitter a lot more than anybody else, and especially that either I'm writing an article or trying to write my own novel, because all of a sudden I'm on Twitter a whole lot more, interacting with people. And you can find all of our stuff at podcastlostinSpace.com, Pliss Official on Twitch and Twitter, Podcast Lost in Space on Facebook. Follow us there, comment there. If you want to yell at her for being a dirty, good-for-nothing whore, do it on any of those places.
How dare you?
Don't you dare call my girlfriend a horde.
Exactly, it's a dirty word. But thanks for listening.
Hold. Okay, wait. We have to fight. I'll meet you in the parking lot in 10 minutes.
That sounds fair.
Cool.
All right, everybody.
All right, we'll report back with the results of our fight next week.
Doc will just
Thanks
come mournfully with a note for whoever survives.
Yeah.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.